Let's go to Ohio State, Michigan. Ohio State went to East Lansing. They win 38-7 on a pair of Jeremiah Smith touchdowns. Let me just start by saying the obvious. Jeremiah Smith's not human. He is the best receiver I maybe have ever seen at Ohio State, and that's saying something. I've watched Ohio State closely more than any other team in the Big Ten, and it feels like hyperbole. I feel stupid for saying it. But he is the best receiver I've seen, and he's not in terms of talent, by the way. I don't mean refinement or anything like. I'm just saying pure talent. He's faster, his route running, his size, his speed. I mean, he's running away from people, and you're thinking, well, he's 6'3", 6'4", 215. Like he's trying to be more of a possession guy. No, he's running away from dudes. They're putting him in on an end around to score a rushing touchdown. What the heck is this? He's an alien, man. He is just so good. I mean, that play, and I just want to highlight too, Travion Henderson has not had a massive role yet in this offense. He will, but I think the most carries he's had in a game, I don't know if he's hit double-digit carries in a game thus far. I think, his load, he's had 10 carries once against Western Michigan. He has 31 carries on the season. Remember, this guy was a 1,200-yard back in his freshman season. He just hit 3,000 career rushing yards in his career at Ohio State. He has 31 carries in 4 games. He's going to have a big impact. But I want you to go back, if you have a chance, and watch him pass protect. Because Jeremiah Smith doesn't have his second touchdown, and Emeka Egbuka doesn't have his long touchdown catch if Travion Henderson doesn't pass block. That dude has become a complete back. He has been phenomenal. Now, I want to talk about 2 things with this game. One, Michigan State is better than people realize. I think their lines, I think, are just really good, right? Their lines are much better than I expected. And again, if they didn't turn the ball over so much, they'd be 4-1 and not 5-0. And I think we're talking about a much closer game on Saturday. If you, and just to highlight guys, I think it was Jordan Turner who was just, he was all over the field. He had a tackle for loss, 9 tackles overall. There's another guy, and I need to look him up here. But one of the defensive tackles was just really fantastic. And I'm not sure who it was. I feel I should have looked it up beforehand. But in general, their D-line, I thought, played really well. And I thought Ohio State's offensive line, especially their pass blocking, was really good. Like I don't think they were bad by any means, but I thought the line play was good. I thought Michigan State's offensive line played really well. Their backs, particularly in the first half, were really good. Nate Carter had a big run to start the game. So I thought particularly the first half they were pretty good. The second half is a different story. And part of that is that they forced Michigan State to have to throw, so they knew what was coming. And so Ohio State could kind of tee off. So again, I think this is a tale of 2 halves. I think Michigan State looked really good for stretches of the first half. I think in the second half, Ohio State shut it down. Here's where my concern lies then for Ohio State. They want to be an elite team. They want to beat the Alabamas, the Georgias. They want to win the Big Ten. They want to beat Michigan. That D-line's got to get better. That D-line is average, and it shouldn't be. This is not an elite defensive line like I saw the first 2 weeks. And I don't know if it's competition or because Tyleik Williams isn't in or what, but that first half, and the D-line And the defense overall was just average. Davison Igbinosun was a non-factor in this game. And I mean, different receivers were getting open on him. I mean, wide open tight ends, receivers. And granted, they have some good players. Nick Marsh, who I think he was limited in this game, but he had a couple of big plays. Uh, their tight ends had some big plays in this game. Jerron Glover had a big day, 4 catches, 53 yards, a touchdown. The coverage was not very good. Again, box score watchers, you will look at this and be like, well, Michigan State had less than 250 yards and they only scored 7 points. Don't be fooled. Ohio State was average defensively in this game until the second half. Second half, they were lights out. They were phenomenal, and they put their second and third stringers in the entire fourth quarter, which I thought was great. I think it's good for development, despite the score being only 38-7. But I think you have to understand this game probably should have been like 24-20 at the end of the first half, if not for turnovers. And a big part of that is because Ohio State's defense was average and Michigan State was taking advantage of it. I'll say one more thing. Aidan Chiles, I saw people on Twitter giving him junk and saying, well, he's saying it's all about potential. That just means he's never going to arrive. Guys, if you're saying that, shut up. The dude's legit. Like, he can play. And I think the more that this team evolves and grows together, I'm not a betting guy. If I were, I would bet that they get at least one, if not two upsets in this next stretch. I just said I think they might put Oregon on upset alert. So just understand the Spartans, Jonathan Smith is doing a heck of a coaching job. And before you're like, well, but all the turnovers, can't he fix that? They're young. This is the reality, is that you've got raw, young players, but they're talented. They have more talent than I thought they would have. I think their win against Maryland bears that out. I think their near win against Boston College bears that out. And I think the way they played in the first half against Ohio State bears that out. This is a team, I would not be shocked if they pull off one or two upsets in the next few weeks. And this next stretch is brutal for them. But watch out. If anyone's playing the Spartans, watch out. That's my advice to you.